Okay, and it's about to get excruciatingly hot in here in 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's see how quickly we can roll through this before we get heat stroke. Hey everybody, my name is Bea. If you know, you know, but if you don't know, I am on a mission to lose 100 pounds. I don't really know if that intro was even necessary because likely if you clicked on this video, you already know what it is. Because this is the video explaining what group challenge you guys chose and going through kind of like the guidelines on that. I sent out a survey over the YouTube community tab as well as Instagram stories asking you guys if you wanted to do a group challenge, and I gave you 2 options, well 3 if you count like the wee woo option, but that was just kind of like a throwaway. But it was between the 75 hard challenge and one that I totally made up that I didn't even know any guidelines when I'm like, we could do this other one where we make up our own guidelines, and I called it the 67 try your best bitch challenge, where we try our best and we give ourselves grace, and it's about like self-growth and sustainability. Pretty obviously, and that was kind of a goat noise, I'm sorry. You guys chose the 67 try your best bitch challenge. There were a lot of criticisms about the 75 hard, namely that it was like a little bit too intense, especially for beginners. It doesn't allow modifications. If you have a disability, it doesn't really let you accommodate for that. If you mess up, you have to start the 75 days over from the beginning, and it doesn't really allow any flexibility for like life. So I'm glad that you guys chose the 67 try your best bitch challenge, which is like a little bit of a spoof on the 75 hard, and it is a lot more flexible. Obviously my ass made it up. You know that there's no like rigid rules or anything because that has never been what I'm about. But I did write down a couple of guidelines and stuff, things that I thought would be good to focus on that I would like to share with you. The first thing, it has to do with diet, and it's very like loose. It's basically just set up the guidelines for your diet and stick to it. You know, if you want to have 1 cheat meal a week, just write that in your guidelines and then do that. If you want to track your food, keep a food diary, that sort of thing. If you write it in your guidelines, just stick to it. You obviously know what's sustainable to you. I can't be over here saying to do a specific diet because I personally believe it's different for everybody. But anyway, so that's kind of just like a vague one. The second thing, work out 5 hours per week. Obviously, split that up throughout the week. A 30-minute workout here, an hour workout here. You know what I mean? Just as long as you're hitting like 5 hours of activity in a 7-day time span. And this should go without saying, but like, don't do the 5 hours in one chunk. Don't wait until like Sunday and be like, oh, I didn't do my 5 hours for the week, and then do like a massive 5-hour workout. Don't do that. This is not The Biggest Loser. So this brings us into our third bullet point, which is accountability and reflection. In the event that you break one of the guidelines, first of all, don't feel bad about it. You're not any different than the rest of us who have tried something and like messed up. It's very normal, especially when you're trying to change habits. So don't try to feel guilt or shame or feel like you're a piece of crap for, you know, messing up. Give yourself a little bit of grace. But I do challenge you to acknowledge and reflect. You know, don't just say that you're going to do better next time, because I think that's something that we all kind of just like, oh, well, I'll do better tomorrow. So I challenge you to like maybe write a journal entry or something else. I know that that's kind of what I'm going to do. I'm going to like try to pinpoint, okay, what set this off? What are some ways that I can set it up so I do better in the future? Come up with like formidable solutions rather than just saying that you're going to do better the next time. Number 4, throw away, hydrate, whatever that means to you. I know some people don't want to be drinking a gallon of water a day, especially if their bladder is constantly dragging them to the bathroom, and some people don't have the luxury to be like leaving their desk every 5 seconds during the workday. And another thing that I would like for you guys to do is to track your progress, whatever you guys feel comfortable with, whether that's taking a picture, whether that's measuring, weighing in. Obviously, if you don't want to track, you don't have to. I know the scale is triggering for some people, so if you want to like just cut that out, you can totally, like if you just want to take pictures or measure, but just like measurement at the beginning, measurement at the end, if you feel comfortable doing so. I don't know, just a way to like see your own progress. But it is really nice to like have that to look back on, because I know, like for me anyway, like I don't see the progress when I look in the mirror, but like when I like go back and look at the pictures side by side, I'm like, oh, okay, there's a little bit there. So the next thing, I want you guys to read one book throughout the 67 Try Your Best challenge. It could be fiction, it could be nonfiction, whatever you guys want. I personally don't think it has to be a nonfiction book for it to have like life lessons and give you some form of realization. I mean, some of the best like literary works have been fiction with serious like political undertones. And I think a lot of times when you guys a concept or something that's pretty hard to swallow in fiction, it's more palatable. You know, it doesn't come across as preachy and usually more entertaining, as long as you think about things deeper or whatever. I'm personally going to read, I already ordered a book. It's called 101 Essays to Change the Way That You Think. And I'm like a really slow reader. Like I'll read one paragraph and then like my brain will just go off and I'll think about something for an hour. So I'll seriously probably be reading this book for the whole entirety of the 67 days. Obviously, if you get through one book and like you want to go on to the next, do it. So the next thing I would like you to do for 10 minutes a day is focus on like some form of self-care, mental health type activity. It could be meditating, it could be deep breathing, it can be journaling, it could be a combination. You know, the idea is just to manage stress a little bit better, try to gauge what's going on up here and translate it into the real world for success. Okay, so the last thing, you guys are like, God, how many rules are there gonna be? But I think they're all pretty fairly okay. I want to challenge you guys to try one new thing a week. That could be anything. That could be trying a new recipe, trying a new workout routine, trying a new hobby that you've always wanted to try. Anything to keep the curiosity and the passion alive. Who knows, you might find something that you're super passionate about and it kind of reignites, I don't know. Like in my mind, I'm like, oh, a willingness to live. But you know, it's just something that makes you excited about getting up and starting the day. I think a lot of times people kind of get stuck in life and they're like, oh, well, I'm too old to try something new. I'm too old to try a new hobby. I'm too old to do this. And that's not necessarily true. I mean, there's people who have decided to pick up painting as a hobby and then went on to have a successful art career at the age of like 70. So I don't know. I just think anything that can spark a new like sense of passion or zest for life, I think that's really valuable. But anyway, I am sweating absolute buckets in here. Like the back of my neck right now is so soggy. I need to get out of this car. But I wanted to tell you guys that I'm working on setting up a Discord so there could be that community aspect of the challenge. I really want to make a safe space for people who, you know, want to find workout buddies, want to share their progress pictures and not worry about feeling judged. I think that I have one of the most supportive groups of people on my YouTube channel. Seriously, I can't even believe the support. Like there's always like those negative people, but the overwhelming majority of you guys are completely awesome. And I want to make a community where you guys could talk to each other. You could give each other that same support. I'd like to have a public forum thing where there's more back and forth and it's like a little bit more excluded, where there's moderators. If someone's like being shitty in there, you know, you're gone. But anyway, just know I'm working on that and then I'll post that whenever I get that set up. Hey, so I can't believe I forgot to mention when I plan on starting this 67 Try Your Best Bitch challenge, but yeah, if we could start that on April 18th, that would be awesome. That's the date that I uploaded my very first YouTube video on this channel. So I thought it'd be a little bit symbolic, a little bit cool to start a group challenge then and see what we can accomplish. But anyways, guys, feel free to modify this as much as you want to. This is your life. I'm not here to try to tell you how to live it. Okay? I love and support you. Goodbye.